Well, tonight I'm gonna be working on some of the stuff that I put in my binder at the show. Coming up, we got Rhode Island Comic Con. This is the road to Rhode Island Comic Con, and yeah, these are the types of things that I try to get done before the show. These are 6x9, done on Bristol board. I plan on coloring these, and they will be at the show. So yeah, but there's a few that I already have done. Hey, Jonathan. Thanks, man. Yeah, these are ones that I started that I'll watercolor them in. Have them at Rhode Island, which is only a few short weeks away now, which is kind of crazy to think. There we go. Get the lighting a little better. I don't know. It's looking yellow there. Yeah, now it's a little bit better. I had the lamp a little too close, so it was a little weird. A little weird, not gonna lie. How are things on your end? I know we're both dealing with the Svengoolie withdrawals. Not having the BTVs anymore. Although it was funny, like after we had had that thread where we were commenting on the situation, I got offered some sort of like subscription service where it was like another $8 a month or something, and you could sign up for it. And I'm like, nope, can't afford that. Thirsty. Hey Lou, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Watermelon accident? Did I miss something? No idea what you're talking about. Thanks for popping in, Lou. Yeah, you'll see I'm leaving more open space on these because I'm going to color them. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. I had not heard that there was a watermelon truck accident. That's the kind of Looney Tune stuff. Hopefully, no one was hurt or anything. But yeah, it's like something out of a cartoon. I'm assuming I'll see both you guys at Rhode Island, hopefully, or at least at Trinity for a beverage one of the evenings. That would be nice. I know you're super busy usually, Lou. I saw those pictures you posted of you and the kiddo at a wrestling event. Those were nice. Out and about with the family. Yeah, I'm not sure you'll be what panels or anything you guys will be working on because I helped out a little bit with the art panel schedule, but I pretty much stay away from the celebrity things. Leave it to the experts. Leave it to the experts, is what I say. Good. That's excellent to hear. Glad you're feeling better, man. I know you've been going through some stuff. I popped in and listened a little bit the show that Jamie was back on. I usually catch you guys on repeat, I admit. I usually throw it up on YouTube. Always, man. I like to think that, I listened to, the Angry Geeks version, which was like the Coach years and then the Woody years, and now we've progressed, even to like, post that, using Cheers terminology to describe the incarnations of the Angry Geek show. On Amazon and Roku. I don't have Roku. I have Amazon. I can check out the Amazon version if that'll help. If you want me to watch on Amazon instead of YouTube, if that'll help the numbers somehow, I can absolutely do that. But you got you're on TV, you're on the interwebs. Pod TV app. Okay. Yeah, I've got the Amazon Prime. Can watch that on either my computer or the TV. It's nice of you to say, but you guys put more work in than people realize. I am always impressed by the regularity, the schedule you keep. It's just crazy. I have trouble with popping on once a week for just a live stream, and it's I've been trying to falling behind on making clips and what do you call them? Time lapses. This, they don't take long to do, but it's just another thing and another thing and another thing that you got to do. But yeah, I mentioned in the description I would talk about Rhode Island Comic Cons of years past, and I've been doing, the show since it first started. I've actually been working with the folks that put it together since the show they did before Rhode Island, which was the South Coast Toy and Comic Show. You're gonna be with Joe at Eric's on the 22nd. I should come down. Hey, if I have the time, I love going down there. It's a wonderful store and seeing you guys. I'll see how much free time I get away from the work Steve has me doing, but if I can't make it, I know you guys will crush it. But have a great event. Doug, to answer you, these are going to be for sale at Rhode Island Comic Con. I did, a stack of ticks, and I usually do a handful of TMNT and just characters that people always ask for, so that they don't have to wait. It makes it easy for me, makes it convenient for them, and if somebody asks for a character that I haven't drawn, obviously I can draw it there, but if I get them done beforehand, it opens up more time. South Coast was great, Jonathan. I really love me, whether it's South Coast, Little Giant, or you know, um, Wicked Comic Con. That's the stuff those are the shows that are comic centric, not 3 days. Those are the ones that I like the most. I don't get out much, Lou. I really don't. I've been pulling overtime like every day this week and last week and the week before. It's just been absolute just crushed, especially with all the big announcements coming up from the company and all the new graphics that I've had to make. But yeah, Douglas, these will be for sale. I'm gonna draw them and then watercolor them, and they'll be in my binder at RICC. And they're also just examples of, like, if someone ordered a $35 black and white bust, this is what it would look like. Um, I don't have any color ones on me because they always sell out. Um, I actually saw a picture of you, Douglas, at a prior Rhode Island Comic Con. I saw it was, I don't remember what year it was, but it was definitely you. And you were, you seemed to be in good spirits. Maybe it was the year you did the pinup for the Altered Reality comic. Yeah, it's a big show, but it is definitely a celebrity-centric show, so it's tough. It's a tough one for guys selling indie books to, do well at. That includes myself. I don't It's one of the reasons I have these done for a show like that beforehand, because people are usually, you know, asking for, IPs that they know, because it's celebrity driven, and it's usually a lot of the art sales. And I don't do prints of characters I don't own, so like I don't have prints of like Batman or anything like that for sale. But I will do original drawings. That I will do. I don't have a problem with that. I try to, Lewis, but that's it's a small company and it's not my call. So, um, yep. But there's one heck of a celebrity guest list this year, and you know the only point I wanted to say something and I didn't, and it was a good thing that I didn't. It was one of those like take a deep breath, step away from the keyboard, and then come back. And if it's still bothering you, you can say something. But it's when and it wasn't even really because of anything involving me. It's when I see people commenting wanting celebrity guest stuff when they're announcing artists, and I don't know. I gets under my skin a little bit sometimes. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't, but it does. And I had, is it petty of me? It might be, but when they announce someone who's done a lot of really good work that I enjoy, and they're asking if some other actor will be announced that day, I don't like that. Hey, I get to hang out with my buddies. My buddy Joe's going to be crashing at my place. We're going to be driving in every day, and Mr. Broderick is going to be there. Jay will let it hang out. I feel like we got to have an Angry Geeks after hours with myself and Jay. We'll do an episode where we just have a beer and talk comics. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's one of those where I'm like, I should be above being like bothered by this, but like, especially when it's like a friend, I get real mad because it's like he's done so much. He created these characters. In one case, there was a creator who actually created the character of an actor that's going to be there. It's I don't know. It's one thing that gets under my skin. Um, I should be above that kind of thing. 7 p.m. on the 5th. No, I mean away from the con. I don't. I can't cut loose if it's at the show. I might come watch you guys though. If it's not a not a long one. And I got your message, Douglas. I'm gonna print that thing out at work tomorrow, and I'll see if I can take a crack at it. I can't promise that my lines will be anywhere near as clean as yours, but you'll get to see what my interpretation is, I guess. I'll try to at least do things academically correct, even if like my shaky hands don't allow. Oh, it's been a lot, and with the announcements that they're going to be making in the next little bit, you'll see that it's been more than usual. So um, I think they announced some of this stuff, but I don't want to get in trouble by saying anything. Probably by next week, I can talk about some of that stuff. It's worth a shot, I've only ever been inked by other people, I think twice. And, one time it was great, one time it was horrendous. So, you got a 50-50 shot. But I will be going at it with a brush. I noticed the ones you posted, everybody's been kind of using a pen line lately. So at least I think people will be seeing at least a difference. What did we talk about? I don't remember. And that's part of the reason I don't say anything is because I don't remember things. Yeah. And that's not on me being clever or anything. That's just my brain turning to mush from the days of constant stress and anxiety. Inking, yes, yes, we did talk about that at Colorado in the Making Comics panel, which of course if you're around for when Craig Rousseau and I are doing this year's Making Comics panel, you're always welcome. If you want to host, you can host. If you want to hang out, I'm sure you'll probably be doing 10 million things, but I will extend the invitation. The one with John Lucas in Colorado Springs this year was terrific. But yeah, we talked about different inking approaches, and um, I have what other artists describe generally as like a juicy, organic, and independent line. It's not a commercial line. Um, and I generally attribute that to the fact that I was trained in painting before inking, and I tend to use crutches from that training. But yeah, it's going to be Craig and I talking. I figured we would be able to talk about his approach, and his approach is very different than mine. And that's one of the things I really want to highlight when I'm talking at this one is that people can have different approaches, and they can both be right. Um, but you do need to know how to apply your approach, and it does take skill and learning and practice and study and all that stuff. And it takes some being able to like kind of self-assess what your strengths and weaknesses are, and because I it took me years to learn what my, especially in comics, like just to accept that there's certain things that my line doesn't work for. Um, I'm actually trying to be less busy on these because they're going to be watercolored, so it's mostly going to be just outline and a little bit of line weight. Especially with turtles, I tend to go a little nuts with the texture, make them a little too busy. But yeah, that's what I love doing that panel. I mean, and I've done so many different types of panels now at this point in my career that the Q&A workshop filled with people who want to make comics and know that that's what the panel's about going in. I love it. I think it's one of those I've told other convention runners, like, you know, this is something that I can bring to your show that, you know, people enjoy in programming. But sometimes at other shows, like the programming is handled differently and different. It's run by an outside person, or they'll hire someone to do it. So they all run differently, but it's definitely something I've offered to do at other conventions, and I'm perfectly willing to do. Because I know I'm not like a huge name, but I can try to have like be engaging and have different different skills than some folks maybe. Yeah, and it's always young creators. That's what I like about it. And at this year, we had people who, had never drawn comics. We had people who had just started. We had people who were writing comics and figuring out how to locate artists and how to talk to them, and what's, what's the right thing to do as far as paying an artist. And, it's trying to put out good information into the world instead of, just random websites that can't give you more context to your question, because they're not all like yes or no questions. Oops, went blurry. There we go. Jay, you have plenty of strengths, and even though that's not one of them, that is perfectly okay. The Jay Kennedy convention experience, as we have come to know it over the last, I mean, we did our first show together 2003. So next year is Jay. Next year is no 2007. I would say that's when we graduated Curry, right? Yeah, '07. Boston Comic Con that fall was probably our first show. Yeah, so 15 years, man. We should get a cake. I think Jay prefers pints to cake, but I mean, favorite Jay quote? I probably can't say on all ages television. I mean, I still think that he should be doing Distracula comics. I think that we need more uh, distracted vampires from Southie. But help me buy beer home, or help me buy gas home. Burn the tapes. PG-13 at best. You're probably right, Jonathan. That's probably true. I mean, there are some, but they are they're out of context, I'd say. I mean, my favorite Jay moment is a very PG moment, and it was when I got to see Jay in person um, at Rhode Island Comic Con. Thank Stan Lee for Spider-Man. That was cool. I did. Burn the tapes is a good one. Well, I mean, Ryan, it can't be helped. Oh, he's off on that one, Jay. Trust me. I mean, do we even need to talk about the just? I'm sorry, Ryan, but you just got owned by the missus. I mean, there's also the incident of dancing with a cardboard cutout of Bruce Springsteen. I mean, that was another a highlight in my Jay memory book. Um, hey, good night, Lois. Thanks for popping in. I will see you soon. I blacked out, so that doesn't count. Well, Jay, I can't. It counts for me just because I didn't black out. So there was at least one moderately credible witness. Jay, what's the bees score, if you don't mind? Going for more Jim Aparo ears on this one instead of like the little stealth Jim Lee ears that everybody draws. What have I been reading? Um, Honestly, lately, like I got through my pile that I bought at the store the other day, and I just haven't had too much time to read. I've just been gunning it through all this work that I've had to do lately. I get done at the end of the day, and I'll flip through some old stuff because I'm just trying to wind down. What did I look through? Let me see what I got sitting right on the table here. Uh, this is one of my favorites. I really like the Marvel John Carter books. And this was an annual put together of like two issues that Alan Weiss had penciled. And I got to know Alan a little bit, corresponded with him, did a couple of jobs with him. And you can see, Wolfman and Weiss did the plot. And Chris Claremont did the script. And then Tony DeZuniga inked this one. Now, if you know Allen's pencils, they're like super tight. They're like insanely tight. And this to me looks like a Tony DeZuniga job on top of Al Weiss layouts. You know, none of the finish looks like Allen's stuff. Like you see the character, like there's one panel where it's just like that's 1,000% Allen. Yeah, right here. Like this pose. That face right there, that smile with like the head tilted back. Alan Weiss. So I would love to have seen the pencils before they got inked. Just because I know they didn't look like how they turned out. And I really like Alan Weiss's pencil work, his artwork in general. And I would like to see what it looked like before DeZuniga got his hands on it. He's good. DeZuniga's a very good artist, but definitely one of those inkers that is overpowering. And I still have to finish a pencil drawing for Saint Pierre. And it's just been very difficult to do work, but I've been doing my best to keep things going and making plans for next year already. Yep. It's that. Did I get that line right? Not quite. Well, it's gonna get watercolored, so maybe the colors will hide some of the problems. I don't know. We'll see. It rarely saves the piece, but it might busy it up enough that people don't notice. I also try to take a deep breath before I do any feathering because my hands are shaky, and if I try to pull those lines off, it's a little takes me a little extra with some people than some other people. Some infuriating people who don't, you know, have shaky hands. Also, when doing like a Batman headshot, like I find that there's just as much graphic design involved in the shadows on him as there is with the like obviously this is more of like a Neil Adams influence, like stretched out kind of look. Yeah, I find that, and that's especially like a crutch that I see that I know that I've used when I've had to, and I see a lot of young artists use it, and it's really easy to fall into that trap of like, if I just draw it busy, it impresses people who, maybe don't necessarily know what they're looking at. I see it a lot, and it's really hard to tell people that like, you need to look at your structure first more, especially if they've spent like 10,000 hours rendering the crap out of like, I don't know, flowers on Swamp Thing's head or something. Because you like that's a chunk that I could never have just left on its own. It would have had to have been connected to like three other things, as a younger me. Also, like leaving the just a little bit of edge lighting behind him. It's tough, and it's tough to let go of that because it's like, oh, but I put 10,000 hours into rendering the crap out of this part, and it's all wrong because you built it on top of a bad foundation. And I've done, like I said, I've done it myself. I've done it when I've panicked on a composition that I couldn't get to work. And I tried to invent other ways to make things busy. Like, it was, I thought that that was making me a better artist, but it definitely wasn't. That's also how I know when I see someone who's faking it. Like we've all made that mistake. We've all been like, if we just crosshatch everything, it'll be better, right? I mean, I messed around with that booth style rendering, and it was interesting. Like posting something that was super busy definitely got responses from a different chunk of people who follow my work than like when I was doing more simplified, like Toth type influenced pieces. And I'll have other professionals be like, "Oh, you should always do this or that," and I'm like, "Dude, I got to keep my feet moving." Yeah, leave it. Don't put the random crap in there. Hello, a very flummoxed rat. How you doing? Yeah, the cross hatching, and especially like in the '90s, like there were some artists who could cross hatch for real. Like there were some artists that knew how to do it. Like Art Adams does know how to cross hatch. Like he knows directional texture lighting. He knows when to pull back. He knows he's not just putting lines on everything. But again, just like making things busy for no reason, like I did for my own work, like it doesn't make it better. It just makes it busier. And there are some people who are impressed by busy, and they like that. Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest, man. I've because I've experimented in so many different directions, been hired to do stuff on different style guides. Like when I did the TMNT stuff, it is a totally different section of fans. Like you can draw a line. There are very few people who like both busy and simple as a you know just across the board. Like I can look at the likes and stuff on um, my posts, and I can see it. Like I can see the different people. Like it'll get, let's say it'll get 50 likes, but if you look at who liked it, it's almost always different. Oh, I totally agree. There has to be. How different people interpret stuff. Just do one for fun. Not a character I'm known for, but just one for fun. And I still get people who ask me to sign random Batman stuff, even though I did only one variant cover. It's always kind of strange. I wish. The last two Cape Cods I drew, I still have, so I'm actually just gonna draw. Since they made all the like Hugh Jackman announcements, I'll draw a little Logan here. Who I actually prefer drawing without his mask on because he's got cool hair. I prefer drawing cool hair to masks. What can I say? And like I said, I'll take these and I'll watercolor them, and they'll be in my binder, in a couple of weeks. I'm probably gonna color them all this weekend. Just make one big batch of pre-mixed colors because I work usually from. That would be exciting, Jonathan. That would be really exciting from a fanboy see the toys mash into each other perspective. Like, because it's a battle that is important to nerd superhero culture. You can't rule it out. Because I know that they have to honor the Fox contracts for a while, but I don't know if that means they can't add some of their own in there too, because they wanted to use one of their Mark Ruffalo movies or appearances or whatever, and he was on that TV show, so still doing the character. I didn't know that. I did not know that. So maybe that's what they swung. One of the things I've been doing more and more lately, and you can see as I was penciling it in here, is drawing the contour lines instead of just visualizing them. It's really been helping me fix some of my anatomy. Like this is the shape, and it's almost like a topography map and it tells me where my light needs to go, where my shadows can go. Helps me with the musculature application. And look, I'm not saying that I draw realism, but I try to maintain that believability. Let's make sure we got bridge of the nose, top, got that. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. try not to spend too long roughing these out because they're just quick little sketches for people, and I sell them super cheap. So, 'cause I like being able to offer artwork to people who might be buying their first piece of comic book artwork. I remember buying my first piece of comic artwork from Daryl Banks. He gave me a deal on it, just for being a kid who liked comics and was into the artwork. And he was a nice guy. Still is a nice guy. Hopefully I'll see him at a show next year. Got to see him a little bit at Gem City, which was great. That is the one thing that, if it's not self-evident about conventions that I like, and a lot of other pro artists who spend all their time at home drawing do like, is that you can't catch up with some of your pals and see people that you maybe get to see once a year or once every 5 years or even longer sometimes, once every 10 years. I haven't seen a few of my friends in a very long time. Just because they don't do very many shows out this direction, but trying to head to the West Coast next year. So gonna take a couple of swings and see if we can, at least get a bloop single into right. Can't have a live stream with me without a baseball reference, right? Yeah, man. I watched the first Guardians Yankees, the end of that one last night. I don't expect a lot from Cleveland, but my folks still live out there, and I remember going to Jacobs Field back in the '90s when they had a heck of a team. Probably one of the best teams never to win a World Series. Or those '90s Indians teams, like they could mash. Their defense was exquisite. Their starting pitching was what got them every year. And they tried to fix it with like bubble gum and scotch tape and old veterans and try to get the last bit of magic out of like a Oral Hershiser and Denny Martinez, and it just wasn't enough. It's very tough to win in the postseason without a number one pitcher. Very shocking that the Mets got killed so quickly. Oh, I'm not. I don't root for the Mets, but it's just surprising. You just wanted to see the Mets get clobbered. This right here is what I recommend the Kiritaki brush pen for the most. If you have a ton of feathering type lines to do, it's the best. Yeah, that was a weird trade, to say the least, that I was surprised happened. I was just surprised it happened. Like, I didn't know why, because I didn't think he was in the last year of his deal or anything. It didn't seem like a salary dump. Hey, have a good night, Jonathan. Thanks for hanging out. Always good to hear from you. Let me know if you got time to get a beer or something later this week. I was surprised. I was just surprised because I know that he's a good pitcher. Relief pitchers that are any good are worth their weight in gold in the modern game. I mean, and I know he had a couple of hiccups, but like, I don't know. It didn't seem like a Mark Wohlers situation where he just lost it and was never going to get it back. Because that does happen occasionally with closers where they just can't get their mojo back because you got to go out there and you got to be like, I'm the man, and you got to have a certain amount of gusto for that position. Even at the lower levels when I played, like those guys were the good ones were cocky as hell. Just the one thing that closers don't need to have is a third pitch. They just need to have two plus pitches. And, if they've got something like a mediocre changeup that they can go to if they have to go more than 1 inning, because if you only got to go 1 inning, you just got to have those two good pitches. I mean, or in the case of Mo Rivera, you had one pitch. It was just maybe arguably the best pitch of all time. I was doing one of those things that baseball fans do, and I was looking at Baseball Reference, and I have always enjoyed knuckleball pitchers. Been a big fan. Sad there isn't one prevalent right now. Loved watching Wakefield pitch. Um, I did not know that Phil Niekro had a no hitter. I knew he won 300 games. I knew he won 20 games, numerous times. I did not know that Phil Niekro, a knuckleball pitcher, threw a no hitter. Yeah, and you were watching them all the time, so. Yeah, I think of Mark Wohlers. I think of that guy that blew out his elbow playing Guitar Hero. I did, yeah. That was a cool documentary with R.A. Dickey and talked to Wakefield and everybody. There was that one knuckleballer pitching for Baltimore for a little bit, but I guess he's in independent ball again. If you ever want to have a one of those if you're ever bored, if you ever see the inning that Wade Boggs pitched in New York, where he threw knuckleballs, his first couple were pretty good, but after that they went downhill. Yeah, I knew he had all those accomplishments, and I just did not know that he threw a no-hitter. Tim Wakefield, when he was at his best, he had one stretch where he was like 12-1 before the All-Star break. He had or 12-2, and he was unhittable. But then, as what happens in Fenway Park in the summertime, just the weather conditions get to where it's not ideal for a knuckleball, and he fell off the second half. But like the first half of the year, it looked like he was gonna be in contention for like a Cy Young award. I don't remember what year that was. Might have been 02. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime somebody's got a you have to call on a guy with a number like in the 70s or the 80s that just got called up to, go down in the record books with like a 12 ERA just to finish up the second game of a doubleheader. It's always good. Hey, Rook, we know you're just trying to make the team and get that MLBPA pension that we all want, but like, can you go and, finish this game with an ERA around 12? That would be great. Take one for the team. Yeah, pretty much. They're gonna send me back to Omaha, and I don't even live there. Been spending a lot of time studying wrists lately. I know that that's again Illustrator thing, but my prior like wrist uh, approximations were not working. Let's see what we're doing. Yep, yep. Some of those joints, man. Some days it's tougher finding the strike zone. But I do get another opportunity to go over these a little bit with the watercolors, and then I can throw some more ink on it, or I can throw white out on it wherever it need be. I'm also just leaving a lot more white space because color. This is just a cut piece of Bristol. Like when I have a parent size sheet, these are like the last little scraps. So I try to, get the most out of them. And also that way I can throw, like light watercolor. I can't do like heavy washes and stuff, so I'll just do like a basic underpainting and then throw one single tone on top of it. Um, there's not a lot of room for like wet on wet painting. And that's why I've actually stuck with pit pens when it comes to some of these things, because they actually have pigmented ink, and as long as I let it dry overnight, like I can go over it with watercolor. I can do whatever I want. Hey Desiree, I'm actually just wrapping up, I think. Otherwise, I'll keep noodling on these things forever. The tick blepe. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a little early tonight instead of finishing at 10. But oh no, that's totally okay. I understand. There's that one. We did those. And then, that one. And yeah, these will all be colored in and be available at my booth at Rhode Island Comic Con. If anybody wants any sort of custom piece, I put the rates in my little description. And if anybody wants anything from the store, obviously there wouldn't be any shipping. And I'm going to call it a night. Douglas, good luck with your Padres. I'll print that thing out tomorrow, and we'll color them in, and hopefully they sell. We've got got Christmas coming up and stuff like that. So if they don't sell at the show, I'll put them on my website, and we'll go from there. And whoever's team, I hope they all win. I think the Bruins were winning tonight, so hockey was going well. But good night, and thanks everybody, and I will catch you next week. All right, bye-bye.